prestige and income, they tend to increase marital stability and marital satisfaction. On the contrary, inadequate resources, monotonous and unchallenging work, unsafe working conditions, dead end jobs, the unrelenting threat of unemployment, and low self esteem also may have adverse effects on the family. Wherever you are watching us from, welcome to LTS episode number 19. And we continue to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like our videos and comment and share your feedback. And in our episode today, we ask and we try to look on how work and family affect each other and what is the secret of creating the balance. Are you a working mom or a working dad, a single parent or a couple? As scholars say at times, today let me play the role of the black advocate. COVID-19 hit the global world without any warning, and in fact, the negative impact and the unimaginable damage that we are still reeling about is far from over. However, is there any good thing that humanity has embraced through this global pandemic of corona? Let me play the black advocate. Now, parents were forced to work from home as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The lockdown had resulted in more family time, with parents feeling more connected with their children as they were able to achieve a better work-life balance. In fact, some parents say that the reduced travel to and from work and more opportunities for exercise with their children were having real benefits for the family ties. They normally say ties that bind. Now, they enjoyed being more involved in their children's education. Now, despite some mothers reporting that they often felt the level of stress and guilt going high at times when they had to work and could not give their children much attention as they wanted, at least they spent some time with the children in their education. Now, my first lady is looking at me and she's smiling. Now, the lockdown also provided a unique opportunity to reconnect, to create memories, and also evaluate priorities as a family. Now, the simple pleasures in life are being rediscovered too. A family walk here and there. It has become a precious time of the day and everyone looks forward to. Something that many families may never have enjoyed before. Families are rediscovering the board games, doing puzzles together, and making fun TikTok videos, something that they were not used to before the corona. Now, these are all things that will not have happened in the usual hustles and bustles of pre-lockdown life. Now, today, the structure of work and work roles has direct effects on family roles and family life. Among the most significant aspects of work that influence family life and family roles are the amount of time worked and the location of work, the nature of work schedule of dad and mom, the geographical mobility associated with work, work-related travel back and forth here and there, and of course, the type of work. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my story, then you'll be able to relate with work, family, and how do you create that balance. I got married about 15 years ago, and that time I used to bring work home, and sometimes I would even transnight. During those days, I could edit a couple of feature stories here and there, and I had quite a limited hours of sleep. Now, this pattern was not sitting very well with my first lady then. She's still smiling, looking at me. Now, after a few months of stomaching my bad habits, she raised the alarm. I had to choose bringing work home or letting home be home. I had to stop and find an alternative plan to get the job done away from home. Now, since that day, I planned to manage all my workload. During the day, I no takeaways home. Otherwise, my first lady will raise another flag. That time she gave me a yellow card. I don't want a red card. Now, time at home was now available to pamper and listen to her as she talks, And that has kept us going. This is 15 years down the line. Now, someone said, man was created to see, but women were born to talk. How much do you agree with that sentiment? Now, when COVID-19 hit, working from home was now a thing. In fact, the company that I am working provided us tools and resources to facilitate effective work during the lockdown. I had to manage all this within the four corners of the house. So the home became the office, the home became the school, the home became the playground, the home became the recreational ground, the home became the gym, the home became the kitchen. You ask, the home became everything. Now, quickly, July 2021 will forever be a month that me and my family will remember. We'll never forget about it. Now, let me just share with you what really happened because work affected family. Now, to ensure that all our associates were COVID-19 free, we conducted one PCR test every month. Then the frequency was increased to twice every month. And with increased global cases, the frequency was increased to 2 PCR testing every week. This was to ensure that every associate knew their status while they were at work 24/7. Now, with our two lovely kids being on an online mode of learning for almost a year, and with my first lady taking charge of all the home affairs, I was the only one who was stepping out and coming home. Now, since the PCR test results were always updated after every 8 hours, we could receive the results on our registered mobile numbers and on the Al Hossan app. Now, if your Al Hossan app turns green, you're safe. If your Al Hossan app turns red, you're not safe. In fact, you've been hit. You've been hit with the COVID-19. Now, that Thursday, I got a message. And of course, when you get a message, the first thing you check is your Al Hossan app. Now is the story we are telling. That time, I was really down. My app had turned red. In fact, I knew I had been hit. At that moment, the kids were with me in the car. And so I could not tell them. I knew they were at a high chance of probably being affected. And so we rushed back home. And I told my wife, and this is what I said. My wife, I've been hit. Anyway, now we can laugh and make fun of it, but that time, really, it was one of the most scary moments of our life. The reason I'm sharing this experience is to show how work affects family and the secret to balancing both. Now, I made immediate arrangements for my entire family to be tested. Now, within 8 hours, the results were out. And your guess is as good as mine. My wife had been hit too. In fact, until today, she normally says, I'm the one who brought it home. Now, it was a very trying moment for us as a family. My wife and I had to isolate in one room, and the kids had to isolate in another room. Now, the little things that we could have taken for granted, just like face to face talking each and every day, the morning hug, good morning, mommy, good morning, daddy, eating together as a family, playing together, praying together. In fact, during that period of quarantine, we had to Zoom with our kids who were just next room. Imagine that. Now, believe it or not, after 7 days, we did another PCR test for the family. And guess what? Our son had been hit too. Now it's 3 down, 1 surviving. Our little daughter at that moment was the only one who was walking safe. Now, our greatest fear and concern was now our last-born daughter, who was the only one on the green zone. Now, fast forward, I will not take much of your time. It was difficult, and it had far-reaching emotional, physical, and even psychological pressure on all of us. But by the grace of God, we got through that month. And in fact, that moment alone altered a lot of things. But it also made us appreciate so much of that which we could have taken for granted. Now, it's not negotiable. We must work. We must provide. We must do all that to ensure that our personal and family goals are achieved. But how then can we balance work and family life to ensure we achieve balance, to ensure that none suffers at the expense of the other? This week, I share with you some simple ways to achieve this, with or without Corona. We already learned from it. Number 1, calendar your kids. Yes, calendar your kids. By this I mean we are all busy, very busy every day. But make sure you schedule a specific time just for your children. Add that time to your calendar if you forget. So that time is blocked and you don't sleep or skip it. Your kids, your children are very important. Give equal passion at home. Before Corona, everybody was working so hard, so hard. It was only about work, work, work. Now most men work very hard at their jobs, including me. But do you give the same passion to your family? The most important work you will ever have is being a husband and being a father. Prioritize your life in such a way that your passion is divided appropriately each and every day. Focus on your core values. That means consider the things that are most important to you and let them be your guide. In one book I have read called Uncommon, which is written by Coach Dangi, he refers to this as finding our landmarks. And when you get lost, those landmarks will always guide you back safely to where you belong. Lighten up. From the same book, Danji also questions and asks, are you ever silly around your kids? Life is serious business. Yet, we must be able to relax at times Relax enough and just find joy as well with your kids. Never totally lose that spirit of the little child in you once in a while. Relax, smile, spend time with your kids. Corona forced you to do it. It's not just about work. Now, build a teamwork. Now, most people take on too much work alone, but success usually is as a result of teamwork. Trust the people you work with and share your duties or tasks with them. By doing that, you will create more time for what's important, and that is family. Get a tune up. Tune yourself up. Over time, our lives have become clogged with unnecessary time consumers. Unnecessary. Optimize your engine by cleaning out whatsoever wastes your time. It's important. Take a look at your personal habits and how you spend each minute of your day and get rid of yourself all this endless and needless waste of time. Are you married like me? With kids around you, if not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 10. Build yourself a network of reliable and trustworthy caretakers, if you can, for your children. Now, a healthy relationship requires attention and work. That means you and your wife, you need to find time alone together. My first lady is smiling at me. Yeah, she normally puts this on me every now and then. You need to find a good babysitter. Treat them well, okay? Pay them right. They are invaluable. And when they do, that means you'll have that special moment and that special time to just sneak away, you and your habibi, or you and your husband or wife, and spend some quality time together. Life is about those special moments. And find an outlet. And here, when I talk about an outlet, I don't mean a restaurant. What I mean is you need to find an outlet for yourself. Maybe it's hiking, fishing, playing basketball, golf, taking a road trip. There are hundreds of ways in which you can be able to release that buildup of stress. And this is mentally healthy. It's very, very important as long as you keep it in a proper perspective. That will enable you to enjoy the balance between work and home and family life. Last but not least, be flexible. And some of us are too serious with life. We all have expectations of how we want life to be, what we want to achieve, but sticking too rigidly to our expectations can create undue stress and undue pressure. It's important to be flexible in how you deal with the chaos that life brings to us. Adapt and improvise. And last take home is live a purpose-driven life. A purpose-driven life. What basically here we mean is zero in on your purpose and your life will follow it. I believe we are all created in God's image and that He has the purpose for our lives. We all have unique gifts and traits, and learning who you are and why you are here clears so much of the confusion. So, zero in on your purpose and your life will follow it. This is the simple truth of the week. Work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. The 4 other balls, family, health, friends, and integrity, they are made out of glass. If you drop one of these, it will be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, perhaps even shattered. These are very powerful words from Gary Keller, a real estate entrepreneur. And as I summarize, Zig Ziglar said, you can't be truly successful in your business life if your home life is in shambles. And with that, we mark the end of LTS episode number 19, and we thank you so much for being part of our audience. And we want to say a big thank you to all those who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, those who are commenting, those who are sharing their feedback with us, and we still invite you. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you get the weekly alerts once we upload our videos. And as we always say it here from LTS, remember, the most highly valued asset of any successful company is you, the associate, the staff, the colleague, the employee, or the worker. So, just strike a balance. Work is important, very important, but equally, family is important. As they always say it, in all things, family will come first. Until next week, from us, be safe. Corona is real. Don't get hit. Avoid that word. I hate it. I got hit. See you next week.